you all so much for being here tonight. I'm really excited to be a part of this cohort. Are there problems?
I'm just going to make it taller for you because you're much taller than me.
I'm a little taller. I'm really excited to be an Iowa Fellow this year. I want to say thank you to all of the people who have made this event happen today, as well as all of the work that has gone into just supporting us as artists throughout this opportunity. So like the slide says, my name is Kelly Devitt. I am from Creston, Iowa. I currently live in Creston, Iowa. I teach at Southwestern Community College. I teach all forms of art there. I'm the sole instructor. But creating ceramic work is my primary focus as an artist. I am originally from the Ames area. I attended Iowa State University, where I gained my Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree in Integrated Studio Arts in 2017. And then following that, I attended the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth, where I got my master's degree in ceramic artisanry in 2022. Here's a photograph of one of my original works that I created in graduate school. My work highly focuses on the idea of information that is translated using one's skin. So thinking of yourself maybe in moments like this where you're speaking in front of a crowd and maybe you're a little embarrassed and your cheeks become flushed, that emotion is communicated to the viewers or the people that you're speaking to. I was also creating work in the midst of the pandemic, like many of us were during that period of time. So this specific image, you are seeing ceramic shards that were glued onto the surface of my skin, thinking about the dangers of touch, but also still this communication of emotion that the body emits involuntarily on occasion. My time in graduate school was a 3-year span. During that time, I spent moments where I was on the floor peeling up sort of glue-like skin material. I was casting obscure things in ceramic forms. I was doing a lot of experimenting. I was making paper out of onion skin, things that I was trying to use to coat my ceramic forms in to give this idea of skin. In the end, after those 3 years came to a conclusion, this was the body of work that I had created in about 3 months towards the end there. You can see there that majority of the forms are ceramic based. Many are based on the amphora figure, which is really rooted in traditional ceramics, but very much based off of the idea of the human body, as well as my own experience in my own skin. So although the forms are ceramic in structure, they are coated in a silicone material. The silicone that I use is the type of silicone that one would place on their arm or on their leg if they were to have a prosthetic put over top of it. So it is the most similar material that you can create that feels just like skin, most similar to the human body, that is. So in moments of my practice, there are wounds that occur, there are mistakes, there are flaws. I highly embrace these moments because they're very human in feeling. You'll see in this picture here, I have sutured my forms together with medical sutures. So not only is this a wonderful skill to have just as a person in case of emergencies, right? It's really useful in talking about these moments of trauma that can't fully heal as a human being. So here you can see that line of suture all through the piece. I'm pulling the silicone back together. I am mending wounds that have been created, but in the end, they are not healing. They cannot heal themselves. So although our human bodies can heal themselves, we still have that idea of trauma that lives on the surface of our bodies, but also internally beneath the threshold that is our skin. More recently, my work has taken a little bit of a turn. You can see it's much more vibrant nowadays. I'm much more thinking about the idea of what lives underneath the skin. Still very much that idea of translating emotions through one's stature, but also still through skin. These pieces that you're looking at here were displayed at the Pearson Lakes Art Center in 2024. They're still coated in silicone, so when you approach them and interact with them, although many gallery directors and museum directors do not encourage one to interact with the works, I love it. But it feels very much like you are feeling another human being or your own flesh. You can see on the image here, I've created this idea of confidence within my piece, or the draining of confidence. So at the beginning of the day, I may feel very empowered and ready to move out of the house, but then as the day goes on, I'm draining and falling off of my pedestal. You would not believe the amount of people that picked up that final piece and placed it back onto the pedestal. I promise it is meant to be on the floor. So if you ever interact with this piece one day, please just leave it on the floor. I know it's really hard to see artwork on the floor. Yes, that one belongs there. This piece was also on display at my show ritual at the Pearson Lakes Art Center. This work was made up of, I believe, about 90 ceramic CeraVe bottles, or daily face lotion bottles. So I created a mold in which I cast many of these bottles to be then placed in this grid system, talking about the idea of daily ritual, self-care, and then preserving one's body throughout time. This piece is flexible. It can take the position of many different forms, I suppose. So in this image, it's a little bit harder to see, but the bottles are displayed on the wall behind this image there, behind that piece there. At the Octagon Center for the Arts, I put on an exhibition where I measured the walls in the gallery and divided them up into 365 different slots. Where I then adhered these bottles to the wall in segments. Sometimes you'll see large gaps, other times you'll see very packed in clusters of these bottles, thinking about that daily ritual and how sometimes we're really on top of it, we're really taking care of ourselves, and then other days maybe that self-care is taking a back seat, whether that be because we don't feel like taking care of ourselves or we are busy taking care of someone else in the place of our own bodies. You'll also see that the forms are now taking a slightly different surface, much like the work that I have displayed here today. I have been experimenting a lot more with glaze-like surfaces, so playing around with that idea of the duality between this really soft, squishy, appearing-like form, but when you actually physically interact with it, it is very tough and firm, tough skin, I guess, if you will, on the surface. So with my fellowship, I have a few different plans. The first plan that I'm going to put into action is a workshop series at my local art center, which is Creston Art Center. I was a member of the Creston Arts Board for a while. That's taken a little bit of a back seat, but I still am very much engaged in supporting my community with the skills that I have, and of course, trying to make everyone love the same sort of artistic practices that I love. So my first workshop that I'll be teaching in the upcoming months, I do have a video here, is teaching amphora form. So coil building using the banding wheel, like you can see in the video there, and then creating these traditional amphora-like vases. So thinking about functional work. I wish that it went as fast as it does in this video, but I promise you it doesn't. My outfit changes 3 times, so I think that'll give you a little bit of an idea of how long it takes. I am also teaching a workshop where we are building functional platters, so something that people can come in, build themselves, take home, and then use in their everyday life. And then the final workshop that I'll be teaching is working with little ones, creating monster functional wear with them. So hopefully that one will be a hit with them. Finally, my fairly large project for this fellowship is I'm curating an exhibition at the Polk County Heritage Gallery in February. I so far have 9 artists who have agreed to participate. I'm hoping for a couple more, but the theme of this show is body. So body explores the human form through identity, memory, transformation, and resistance. Through diverse media, photography, sculpture, video textiles, and interactive installations, the exhibit will present the body as both deeply intimate and inherently public. So very much thinking about the idea of putting our own bodies on display and this idea of being very vulnerable right in front of the public. And then the very last thing that I'm really fortunate to be able to participate in this year is attending the National Ceramics Conference, which is being held in Detroit this year. This is something that ideally I would like to attend every single year, but it is very expensive to travel even just around the country. So I'm really fortunate to be able to have the funds to do that this year. With participating in this conference, I aim to understand contemporary conversations that are happening in the ceramics field, but also interact with some of those old colleagues that I got to meet in graduate school and just along my path as being a ceramic artist in general. So hopefully this will lead to some new projects, but in the end I believe that it'll aid the work that I do at SWIC as well and helping my students be a part of that contemporary conversation. Great, thank you so much.